Hi everyone, this is Alan Cowgill, and I'm known as the guy all over the nation that's cracked the code on finding private money. And I am so tickled to let you know that I'm going to be in Poughkeepsie, New York this Saturday to do a workshop for the Legacy Wealth Builders RIA. And I would love to have you come. It is from 9 to 3, and we are going to get into all the different aspects of private money in the time that I've got allotted. I want to talk to you a little bit about using private money. Maybe you don't know what private money is, so let me give you an example. This property here, a lady calls me up and she says, "Are you one of the We Buy Houses guys?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She says, "Well, I bought this property and 9 months ago, and I've never bothered to make the first payment, and now the bank wants it back." But she said, "I've talked to the bank, and if I can find somebody to buy it by the end of the month, they will discount this for pennies on the dollar for what I paid for it." Well, I ran over and took a look at the property, and that was on a Monday, and by Friday I owned this thing. And I walked out of closing with $17,045. Now I want you to think about this. You know, we're taught as real estate investors that you earn your money when you negotiate the deal, but you physically don't get your money until you sell a property or over payments over time. Well, what happens to me is I get money at both ends. I get some money right up front the day I buy because I borrow extra from a private individual, what we call a private lender. And then I saved a bigger chunk of money at the end. And so I owned this property, and I sold it a year later and walked away with $31,945 overall. So it's kind of nice to wake up Monday and not know you're going to buy a property, and by Friday you own it, all because you got instant access to cash. And let's talk about landlords. Well, I got a cookie cutter for landlords. You buy with private money and fix with private money because you can move fast and beat all your competitors. And then you refinance it, and then you rent it, and then you do it again. It's a cookie cutter for building an empire out there. Look, you're doing the private lenders a favor. You are no longer begging for money. Ask them where else can they get 8% secured by a mortgage. All they have to do is write a check and sit back and wait for a bigger check. It's the American dream for these people. Look, I believe it's important to take a realistic look at your funding option. If you go to a bank, if you can get a loan today, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a loan tomorrow or ever again. I've heard of banks stopping and closing the day before you're going to close. You see, you're not in control, and that's the problem with banks. Hard money lenders, well, they're incredibly expensive, and there's only one exit strategy. You got to get rid of the property, sell it or refinance it. You're not in control. And lines of credit, you're limited to the number of dollars you can borrow, and they can jerk that credit line any time, any minute they want. And creative financing, we all do that, but you're limited to the number of deals if you don't have the funding to back in. Basically, you can lose out on the best deals because of that. And wholesale, well, you could lose the earnest money in the deal if you don't have this place handled by the contract date. You put earnest money down and you got a contract, and if you get close to that date and you don't have somebody to buy it, well, you could lose. I never want you to lose. I have a safety net. My safety net with wholesale deals is private money. You get close to your closing date or your contract date, you just fund it with private money and wholesale it after the fact. And your cash, I know a lot of landlords out there using your cash, but you could be losing out on some of the best deals because you don't have enough money. And you're limited on the number of deals. A lot of times it's just one at a time. So private lenders allow you to take your real estate business to any level that you want. Now, it's Saturday, the 18th. I want you to show up at 8:30. It's going to start at 9. We're going to take about a 45-minute break for lunch, and then I will just keep teaching again. We're cutting it off at 3 because I got a flight to catch. It's at Poughkeepsie at the Hampton Inn. I want you there. It's going to rock, and sign up now. Get to the event and learn about private money. You will be blown away by the amount of training. In fact, I'm told minute for minute I give as much or more training than anybody out there. So you get nothing to lose and everything to gain. To your wealth.